Do you find that you feel drained most of the time? You are unable to concentrate? Do you often feel that you are not good enough? This sounds like a critical voice. Our critical voice comes from messages we have heard in past experiences which we have believed to be true and have shaped what we think of ourselves. We have internalized these messages from childhood and we hear them throughout the day, which can cause us to feel constantly bad about ourselves, preventing us from enjoying life or growing if we ignore them. These messages are what influence our behaviors. They are often activated by stress, anxiety, or pressurizing situations. My name is Natalie McLeod. I'm a counselor and certified in the New Creative Journal approach. In today's video, I would like to show you 2 activities to understand and take a little bit more control of those limiting thoughts. They are journaling processes which will help you find other ways of thinking which are designed to appease some of the stress you're experiencing. All supplies are in the description box below, and remember that you don't have to follow the activity to the letter. You may do whatever feels better for you. You are in control of your personal journal. So let's begin. It's important to create an inviting space for journal and make it as enjoyable as possible. So as you can see, I tend to light a candle and sometimes I also have meaningful objects dotted around on my desk with a cup of tea or coffee. But there is no obligation for this. You can dive straight in. On the right-hand side of the page, we are going to draw or stick a silhouette. You can find those on the internet. If you prefer, you can just draw a big circle or a stick person, leaving space around it to write words if it is any easier. Then spend some time thinking of thoughts which tend to stress you out. I have added a list of thoughts in the description box below. They usually shoulds, must, or have 2 words. I am now sticking my silhouette on the page with some glue. Then I'm spontaneously writing any negative thought I'm hearing in my mind in the present moment and that I hear all the time. For this part of the activity, you can spend as long as you wish, not censoring yourself, not paying attention to spelling. This new creative journal technique is often used to bypass our logical thinking brain and tapping into our right hemisphere, which is intuitive part of our brain. According to research, we have on average approximately 70,000 thoughts a day, and most of them are random. So you can imagine the number of negative thoughts we have a day amongst random ones. No wonder we struggle when we are not aware of them. I now invite you to stay a little while with these thoughts on paper and notice what feelings arise from paying attention to your page. Then take some color pencils or felt pens to represent these feelings or sensations in your body when you listen to those thoughts. They can be marks, scribbles, lines. You can draw a facial expression, anything you like really. This is particularly helpful if you struggle to voice your emotions, as it is a non-verbal technique. You may find it hard to connect to your body, and this is normal because when we are in stressful environments, our brain goes into survival mode automatically. The survival response are fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Fawn is a survival response we feel we have to appease a perceived threat. So now take a few minutes with your page, really giving it attention it deserves. It's now time to control our negative thoughts. So for this, we're going to take the silhouette out of the page away from its negative thoughts, cutting it out with scissors, and be mindful of your fingers. Feel what it's like to have taken yourself out. And now we are left with some space. We are going to fill the space with a warm color of your choice. I'm using dry pastels for this activity, but you may use whatever you prefer. Take some time coloring it in and using your finger to spread the color further as though you were soothing yourself. Here is serendipity at play. I have just noticed this affirmations written a while back. Journaling never fails to surprise you. I decide to make my bubble a little larger so I can fit my silhouette inside as though she was protected by its warm energy. However, feel free to do whatever you feel led to do. and you can leave your page as it is or carry on decorating it. I am now going to write my new feelings after doing this process. So I chose 3 different color pens in the colors I like, but again it is up to you and what feels is best. There are no strict rules about the new creative journal. It is a playground. It is important after a deep dive to give yourself time to create and use the mediums you love, because what you are doing here is training your brain to think differently. After doing these processes repeatedly for a while, you will begin to see changes in yourself. Creativity is an active way to support our nervous system as you are giving yourself permission to quietly rebel against those critical thoughts. So now I'm inviting you to play with your page, opening and closing it. Notice how it feels. You can do this as many times as you wish until it feels right to stop. I'm placing my hand on my silhouette as a mark of compassion to myself after this process. It is always important to end a process with something positive, so I'm placing a magazine image on top of my bruised silhouette to help her feel better. In this second activity, I'm starting the process by writing the word should in big letters on a separate piece of paper. Then I'm looking for images in a magazine that convey how I feel when I use the word should. I place as many images as I can over my page and notice the reactions, sensations, feelings I'm getting while doing this. Stay with these images a short while, just noticing, observing. Then take another piece of paper, and we are now going to write an alternative to should. It is the word could. Then take away the images of discomfort gradually, and you may leave some on the page as we're not avoiding our feelings, we're just taking control. An alternative would be to tear the word should in small pieces, and this is particularly helpful if you are holding some frustration. What I preferred doing was to cut the letters of the word should and randomly placing them all on one single page or a double page. The next stage is to make up more positive words out of each letter, and this exercise encourages us to think differently. You may want to write them like I'm doing or stamp them. It may take more time to stamp, but I invite you to see it as a mindful practice of taking time and really being present with yourself. It is now your time to be creative and decorate your page as you see fit. I have decided to stamp the main words which called to me. By stamping them, it takes time, so what I'm doing is I'm teaching my brain to think differently. The brain learns new ways by repetition. I am now using stencils to decorate the rest of my page. Birds as a symbol of freedom for me. This can be calming activity after diving deep. Then I felt led to colour my page using colours of the rainbow. Colouring is a form of meditation, and the repetitive movements helps our brain rebalance itself. That's why some of us tend to clean when we feel stressed. You may colour while listening to your favourite song playlist or while watching a film you enjoy. So here I have decided to draw little windows around my letters. Windows are a symbol of opening to new possibilities for me. Then I had the urge to take the letters off. I was lucky the glue I used did not glue them thoroughly, so I was able to peel them off easily. If this is not the case for you, you may want to paint over your windows as it has a similar effect. Or you can simply leave it. You are in control and it's your journal. And a nice little surprise came out of this. A space was created once the letter was off. It gave me a sense of relief. Then I placed my letters back onto my page to see how it felt. I wanted to blow them away from my page, followed by writing the words free in all my windows. You are taking some control, and you are the one deciding. The should has become a could. We know we have things to do in life, but gaining some awareness of how we can take some control back can free us from a lot of unnecessary stress. So at the end of your process, it's always a good idea to stay with your page and your new feelings. You can keep your letters in your journal to get back to it if or when you need it. So as an aside, instead of windows, you can put balloons on your letters or anything that feels lighter to you. You don't have to use windows. I hope this video was helpful to you, and until next time, take care of yourselves and goodbye.